I'm Martin Charles on ShropshireLive.com, and today I'm speaking to the godfather of Italian food. It is Antonio Carluccio. Antonio, welcome to Shrewsbury. Have you had a chance to look around, and what do you think of the town?
Very much so, because the taxi driver didn't know where the hotel was, so he had 3 times the route, and I could see almost every building, and I adore it. It's lovely. I love little towns like this, which, in my opinion, they still sleep in the Middle Age. You know, I could see people. If you close your eyes, you see the vendors, the people juggling and doing all the business. It's lovely, wonderful.
Now, this is Carluccio's 77th UK restaurant. Now, what makes this different from other Italian restaurants?
Well, it's a Shrewsbury. That's already different. What I am glad that the management look not for the blueprint and the rubber stamp, but every new Carluccio is different from the others, and this is architecture-wise and position, obviously, but also the interior is been studied to be Italian, but not kitsch Italian. So lovely Italian, so that everybody likes it. And then the other aspect of a Carluccio is the teaching of the personnel. The personnel is really sort of instructed very well to be nice, but not over nice. And the opening times 7 times a week, and very good cuisine. Those are my recipes, which are simple but very good, and ultimately the prices they're very down. So this is the recipe for good business.
Now, Carluccios have restaurants here and abroad. How does it feel to have such a successful restaurant chain in your name?
My name now is there, and I am consultant of the company. It doesn't belong to me anymore, unfortunately. But I enjoyed it before, and I am still enjoying today, because with all what I do, television, books and so on, the coming back to the Carluccios is still there, and I adore it. People, they're enthusiastic, they stop me and take pictures and these and that. It's lovely.
Fantastic. Now, some people would say that big restaurant chains like this take away from smaller independent restaurants in the town. What would you say to those people?
I like a small independent restaurant, but I mustn't forget one thing, that sometimes Italian restaurants, they are regional, because the chef is regional, doesn't know very much about other type of regional cuisine. While here we touch a little bit all the regions. So the menu is touching the north as the south and above all, what is in Carluccio's is the personal liberty to order even a cafe at lunch if you like. You know, it's open from 8 to 11, and there's no obligation, it's utter liberty, and that's what I like. Because I don't want to criticize others, but sometimes a small single restaurant, they're obliged to do just of the lunch or the dinner, but here's all day long trade, and that's quite rare.
Now, Antonio, I know you've been asked this question many a time, but where did your passion for food come from?
I have a certain portion of greediness, as you know. The too greedy Italian has shown that a little bit. But the passion comes from the fact that my mother used to cook fantastic food. And I went to study to Vienna and when I was 20. And there I wanted to have the food that my mother used to create. So I had to cook it for myself. And since then I cooked and cooked and cooked for 50 more years. But I am not a chef, I am a cook.
Good. Now, Italians are classed as the healthiest European nation with a long life expectancy. Why do you believe that is so?
Well, the way of life is also not bad. You know, giving to priority to things. Sometimes the Italian generally they give too much priority to the food. They talk about food all the time. Sometimes it's too much. But they know intrinsically what they have to eat to feel well. For example, in the south, it's pea and meat, it's fish and vegetables, a lot of vegetables, which we cook in Italy almost as if it would be a main course. I wouldn't mind to eat vegetables all the time. I like meat, but the vegetables, they're really tasty and nice.
Well, I was just about to say, because when you go to Italy, even the simplest things like bread and even a salad, they taste so much nicer, and I want to know why that is.
No, because they take care that every single item, it's really of good quality. Yeah.
So, Antonio, do you fear that Italy is coming to the end of the mama pasta era as a new generation of Italians come on? There's fast food and there's quick cooked meals.
No, I hope not.
No?
No, in fact it's not, because it may be that the fast food are coming in Italy, and the Italians, the young people, to be fashionable and so on, they go there. But after a while they go back to the mama because they notice that there's a difference.
Absolutely. Have you had an amazing career? How did you become a celebrity cook?
I don't like to be called celebrity cook. When I was younger, I was judging the Sainsbury competition Young Chef of the Year. And when I was asking 10, 12 years old, what do you want to be? I want to be TV chef. I said, come on, learn first to cook. Be a good cook. Then perhaps if you are beautiful or you have something interesting to portray, perhaps you become television. But don't think that the television does everything. I used the entire time, for 30 years, the television just to transmit to others my enthusiasm for food, whereby I knew that it wasn't me, the most important person, but the food and the people that I was talking with. So this is the importance between celebrity chef and communicator.
Good. That brings me on, because The Greedy Italians, it was an excellent series with Gennaro Contaldo, and you seem to get on so well. So was it as good fun to make?
I know him very well. He was 15 years my left hand or right hand or whatever, and we worked together in my restaurant, and I knew everything. He's been born in the same area where I was born, but he is locally. Papa was from Benevento and mother from Pescara, and I was born on the Amalfi Coast, but transported and up to north. But he is from Minori, and he is really from Minori, born and bred.
And do you enjoy making the programme? It looks great fun.
You see, we share the origin, which, believe it or not, my origin is still of the South. And I know his mentality. So I know him to read him very well and to anticipate him very well. So I know everything of him. So the badinage that we have, we two, it's unique. And it is fantastic.
It is. And is there plans for another series, Antonio?
Maybe. It depends on television. If you say to BBC, look, you should do another one, perhaps they do it.
Now, how often do you return back to Italy, and how do you feel when you return?
I feel in Britain very well. In fact, I don't know if I could live in Italy again, because I discovered in 50 or more years being abroad, having known the Italian in Australia, in here and there, the Italian in Australia, they're more Italian than the Italian in Italy, because they still preserve all their way of life, killing the pig and so on and so on and so on. While in Italy, as you said, a little bit of Americanism is crept in, but nonetheless, Italy will remain Italy. And the only thing that I don't like of Italy, of we Italian, because I have to be a little bit negative in this, which some of the Italian, they don't look at Italy like this, they look at it like this, French as well. So a little bit egocentric, while I prefer the world to be wide. And that's why I live in London with pleasure, because I have quite a lot of people that I know, and I can travel when I want. I can go to Italy when I want. So that's very good.
we noticed you've got a Twitter account, which is
Yeah.
at Cook Carluccio. So what are your thoughts on social media?
Shall I tell you that I am completely computer illiterate? Because I wrote 20 books, and all with pencil and longhand. So the entire thing of it even telephone sometimes, I don't know how to operate it. So the Twitter and so on, I am helped in it. And it's lovely for communication, just like Pope Francis discovered it. It's lovely to communicate, but I don't exaggerate with it. It's good for communication, but for example, in YouTube, I discovered that it's very interesting, because the first recipe that I did, using the channel of Jamie, which he said, yes, fantastic. I wouldn't open a channel myself, but I did a carbonara, the real carbonara. Do you know how many people they clicked in 1 week? 120,000.
Wow.
I said, bloody hell, sorry, 120,000 people. They wanted to see how the real carbonara is made. And there is the real carbonara. Now, probably through this, they will be 180. So we say 180.
Finally, Antonio, now I don't feel that I'm a very good cook, so what would your advice be to someone like me who wants to have a try at Italian food?
You can have any try. If you take my new book, Pasta Book, they are very simple dishes, and you start to follow the recipe as it is there. Then, when you are a little bit more confident with cooking, you can change bits and pieces. It's not, that when a recipe is written is the law. You can, birds, you can change a little bit according to your taste. More or less garlic, more or less oil. So every recipe that I write is a suggestion. It's up to you then to let it become either yuck or a fantastic specialty.
Antonio Carluccio, thanks very much for speaking to ShropshireLive.com.
Pleasure, and greeting to everybody. Good luck.